Hello YouTube peers and welcome to a new episode of What Did You Miss? This is episode 21. Last highlight was 7 days ago. So next we'll start with 5 days ago. I made some highlights. So we'll just go in order from whenever the just got completed. So there's a Faria stream that I did. I was playing some Pandora matches mostly. So I highlighted that. I did a little bit of some other stuff, goofing off with the, what was it called? I'm drawing a blank. Puzzles? I was playing some puzzles in this game, right? Anyway, I had a 2-win run, I think, maybe. That's not very many wins, but I think the max possible might be 9 or something. Then I drafted a new deck, and I didn't play it very much. I played for like 1 or 2 games. But yeah, I was really not feeling that great. I'll have to finish this deck's run later. As you can see, actually, I ended up getting eliminated by a Tarum user, and then I decided to use Tarum in the next run, which is interesting. So this is one of the games where I won. Yeah, there were some matches, whether I won or the opponents won, where Pandora didn't even open. Quite a few of them, but then we had at least a couple of them where Pandora was opening. Yeah, there were some pretty rushy matches here and there. Anyway. Then we had, oops, clicking the wrong thing. This is just me drawing an emote. So I just basically drawing the card, sort of. I didn't draw the creature. I'm not sure if that's his pet or what. Anyway, it took me a while to be somewhat satisfied with the emote. But eventually I got there. The nose in particular was really hard to draw. I was getting very fussy over the nose, but eventually I got it to where it seemed okay. Anyway, and then what else do we have? Let's continue right-clicking on these. I played some more Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. So I was playing Chapter 3 in the beginning of Chapter 4, basically. So we went back to doing some fighting here. I was talking with a fellow Final Fantasy 13 fan, Destrian, early on. Then he ended up taking off. I actually wasn't feeling great. I didn't want to talk very much, so I did a lot of typing instead of having my microphone on. So if you guys want to see my comments on the game, you're going to have to go through and read them sideways. Hopefully that's not too annoying. Or you can just read them over here too, if it is. Anyway, yeah, I had a lot to comment on. There's a lot of strange things going on in this game, like being able to sell items to vending machines. Like what? Doesn't really seem normal. And then this is like the beginning of chapter 4. See, we got into that. And there's like this funky little easy way to game over by failing the motorbike section. Funny thing is, they don't make you retry from the very beginning of the motorbike stuff. They actually make you retry from the previous battle or something when you game over. So like it makes you basically it fully heals you, which is a little bit silly. I'm glad it doesn't sort of like soft lock you by like having your HP remain the same. But I would have liked the option of just starting over. I guess you could just reload your save if you were really worried about that. So it's fine the way it is, I suppose. Anyway, it's just a little neat little nitpicking that it didn't give me the option. Next highlight, I was working on a Tiptoe Adventure level. So I spent about 4 hours finishing this up, it looks like. This was a really satisfying level to build. Really liked it. I'm not sure if anyone's beat this yet or not. Did I send it to somebody to beat? I might have. My memory is starting to get really fuzzy. I think maybe Derek Doom beat it. Derek Doom might have played it. Not sure. Can't think of anyone else that might have already played it, but anyway. He might have just played an easier level instead, so maybe it was somebody else that played this. I don't know. It could have been Duckbag. Was it Duck? I don't know, man. Anyway, this was a really fun level. Super curious who played it now. Anyway, what else do we have? Kind of funny how it's actually hard to remember sometimes. I guess I need to get more. I need to get to know the other streamers more. I started working on a new multiplayer versus ideas. That's what this highlight is. I didn't spend very long on it, only like 26 minutes. But so I was making a falling fast level where you're going to use Raccoon Suit to destroy these blocks. And so I'm sort of taking that idea and turning it into a multiplayer versus level and just starting it over from scratch. And I think that might be kind of interesting. It'd probably be less irritating than the falling fast level. I mean, it's multiplayer, so people can expect that they're going to have some difficulty, but it's not going to be like really lethal, so I think people might enjoy it. Kind of like with the fire suit and shooting the frozen coins level that I made. Our next highlight is me playing some Final Fantasy IV the after years. So I was playing through Palam's story. He was teaching Leonora about black magic. So there's not really a whole lot going on. You just go to a tower where people are supposed to train, and for some reason there are lots of enemies to fight us. So we cast black magic on them to defeat them. And apparently there's weird stuff happens with like a mysterious girl trying to get the crystal, and then like some weird stuff happening with the crystal. I don't want to go too much into it because it's an RPG. I don't necessarily want to spoil stuff for you guys if you want to play it yourself. But anyway, it was a pretty interesting story. Where were we? And then I did the power build thing, December 19th. This was kind of slow, so although it's almost 4 hours, that's because I just kept like going AFK a lot, pretty much, I think. Also, I spent a lot of time like playtesting, like tons of time playtesting. But yeah, Luai wanted a Sky Wiggler level, and he wanted a Goo level. I also wanted something else, forgot, maybe, like as a, what was it, like the optional stuff or something, or bonus content, or whatever, which I'm not sure if my level had it or not. Anyway, eventually I end up getting like 100% on this level. I might have done it on stream, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it looks like I probably did. Well, I think I got like 65 gems like twice or something. And then I got like another 66 maybe with a screenshot later. Not sure. Anyway, I have not 100% of the Goo version yet, but I plan on eventually doing that. And by 100% I mean just getting all gems. I'm not really caring about getting like the monsters too, such as the peanuts, for example. But yeah, if you want to beat my group in time of 100%, you can do that by defeating stuff like peanuts. I'm not even defeating all the enemies in the Robo Factories on my 100% run, to be honest, because you only need to defeat 2 out of each of them, not all 3, if you want to get the gem that they're guarding. So I might have left 1 or 2 or so of the Robo Factory units alive, in any case, along with pretty much all of the peanuts. I don't think I killed any of them. I mean, as far as the thorny ones go, anyway, I could have killed them if I wanted to, but anyway, I didn't want to spend too much time on it. And plus I want to give other people something to surpass instead of an unsurpassable milestone, or whatever you want to call that. Anyway, alright. Let's look at the next highlight. So this was me playing a troll level. It was a pretty long one, part desert, part ghost house. I think this may have been the day that somebody gift subbed me. Yeah, because our sub goes 0 out of 6 right now. And now we're at 1 out of 6. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I was definitely, like, I don't think I was playing this troll level very well. So it's kind of embarrassing for me a little bit that I got a sub gift when I wasn't even playing very good. But anyway, at least I guess that was fun to watch. So you guys can check that out if you want some laughs or something. Anyway, next highlight. Yeah, that was actually, to be fair, that was a Sunday where, like, I probably shouldn't have been streaming, but I just kind of forced myself to do it anyway because, you know, potential for viewers, blah, blah, blah. Actually, this December has been going way better than I feel like compared to last December as far as my streaming's going, getting people chatting and stuff. So this level, oh, there's 2 of them here. There's just a couple of first clears. It's no big deal. It's just a period of time when I just needed to catch a break. Like the viewer levels were really hard, and so I said, okay, let's just do like a couple of relatively easy, you know, first clears in 3D World styles. That way I can actually give my hand a rest from all these hard levels. And so I think it was a good development. Anyway, it was a good decision. That's what I meant to say. And we have coins in the sand. Another viewer level. So this level has wind going both ways, but I managed to beat it. It was actually a pretty short level. You have to get some big and regular sized coins, and there's not really that many. There's probably like 10 or 20 coins or something. It's not a huge amount at all. But it was somewhat difficult, despite its clear rate being pretty high, because it's not really very lethal at all. Anyway, next highlight, we've got platform POW placement for Mickey Brady, a fellow streamer. His level was pretty good. It was at a pretty good length of a level, I would say. And then also there's this one section in particular that was really fascinating. Well, this part was cool too. This part, apparently you could like defeat the Pokies with the POW. Even just getting the POW is a little tricky. It's kind of funny. You have to make the boo deliver it to you and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, the level is mostly built around that gimmick of the having the POW push you through the bumper. But that's what you're intended to do, is this right here. And it took me a while to figure that out. So for a while I was just trying to kill the pokies and then use the POW to get a helmet. And I never managed to do it. But I think if I tried hard enough, I could have eventually done it. Anyway, right here is the really cool part. When I first got here, though, I had no idea what was going on, and so I responded a little bit late to everything. So I was thinking about killing the decorative spiny with a POW, but that's not what you were supposed to be doing. And so yeah, and then I lost my POW, and switch sit dates were all messed up. Anyway, so I was just like trying to. I recorded the last 30 seconds so we could analyze this area, and I came up with a good strategy for it after looking at that. And then next time I got to that, it was just as far, then it was no problem. I just passed it really easily, and it was pretty fantastic. If you want to check it out, feel free to check it out. That was probably the last really difficult part of the level, I would say, but it wasn't really particularly hard. So I'd say the hardest part might have just been this little speed run involving the pokies. But even that wasn't really all that hard once you understood what you were supposed to do. There may have been some other stuff that was pretty hard too early on, but if there was something, I forgot what it was. Anyway, yeah, because I couldn't have spent very long on whatever was early because, well, you can see what the highlight looks like with the timestamp. Anyway, let's move on to the next highlight. So we've got Vii DXD's level. It looks like a non-viewer level. So it's just a first clear pickup here. This was a pretty interesting little bomb challenge to get the key. Well, I came to find out you don't actually need this key. It's optional to pick up. So I died quite a few times with a lot of optional challenges on this level, and still managed to yoink the first clear, so that was cool. So I really liked this one. A lot of these highlights, I just make them just because they're another first clear, but this one was definitely one of the better than average 3-2 world first clears that I've picked up. So this is IDXD. Keep it in mind if you want to try it, you can go check it out. Then we have Lord QWERTY's. This was not a first clear, this was me stealing somebody's world record. We actually have a highlight of Lord QWERTY on this channel already. I'm not sure why I played it originally. You have to check the context if you want to find out. But it could have been that Bingobo had recommended it or something, maybe. Anyway, now I'm playing another level that's kind of recommended by Bingobo because like he has the world record on it. So we spent some time trying to steal that world record. Actually, this was the second session of me playing it. I'd spent some time struggling on it before this, and the ironic thing was I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I misunderstood the level quite a bit, and that's what was slowing me down and clearing it in a decent amount of time. I was trying to be careful with the ending, and eventually I got it. But yeah, it's got a really low clear rate. The clear rate probably should not be that low, but at the same time, people are probably, one, they're probably giving up on it a lot, and two, they're probably also misunderstanding the level just as I was. So anyway, but yeah, its clear rate was lower. I actually raised it a lot. It was like 0.23 maybe, and I raised like 3.5 or something. Anyway, next up, this was a level by another streamer, although this person has never played any of my levels. I was looking around for something to play, and the first level that I looked at, I noped out of real fast. And then we found this SMB3 boss rush level, which was pretty fun. It had a lot. It was pretty easy to understand and pretty cleverly built. Also, I'm just kind of a big fan of the way things look. A lot of the boss fight levels that I play don't look very good, but this one looked really nice. So props to Isherwood for making it actually look really good and being a fun boss fight at the same time. Because most people don't know how to do that. Anyway, so yeah, there were a lot of boss fights. There was this one here at the end was pretty difficult. I think I died on it quite a few times. Also, you had to beat multiple bosses in a row as well from the checkpoint, which was reasonable, I think, considering the fact that it gives you like a mushroom each time. Anyway, that didn't stop it from being difficult though. Anyway, so yeah, really well built. Next highlight we got Desert Ruins, Windy Air Stalling. So this was a level from Lightning 3. I found it from looking at my stuff. So this, but by the way, this was a day where I'm saying I'm playing levels from other streamers. So Isherwood was one of them, and Lightning 3 I think has streamed on YouTube. I'm not sure if they regularly do. I don't think he does, but anyway, this was a level that's meant to help you practice the trick of just continuous climbing at nighttime desert in this particular style. It's like to give you tactile feedback, I guess, if that's the right word, that you're actually doing it. You're starting to get it. Like if you can get over the wall of the arrow gates, then you know that you're starting to get it. Is the idea. Anyway, I did clear this, and it took a long time though. As you could see, it took over 15 minutes to eventually touch the goal, but I got it. Just barely, but that's good enough. Then we have this level was from a viewer. It was pretty good. So in this case, the Goomba hat is completely optional, and so it gives you like +1 hit point. So that was pretty cool. It's weird. It feels like the ant is like coming to get me when I step on that. But why would he be coming to get me if I'm in a Goomba mask? He's probably just like trying not to die or something. I'm not sure how effective that is in turning around. Anyway, it's pretty interesting how he built this. So they're like, these ants are actually protected by the cloud blocks. Pretty wild stuff. I'm wondering if it might still be possible to kill some of them, but if it were, you'd have to perform like the ground pound while you're like inside the cloud block or in front of the cloud block or whatever. It sounds like a big ask. Anyway, I think this course had already been cleared because this course was easy enough compared to most of Switch Boss's levels that someone had already cleared it by the time he sent it to me. Anyway. And I'd lost my mask for the for this particular run in the final room. And now you get to see Toad partying, dancing. Anyway, what else is there? We actually have so many highlights. It's actually kind of unbelievable. It's been so busy because it's December, I guess. Because a lot of people, I guess a lot of the children don't have like the teenagers or whatever. They don't have school. Um, so that was from 4 and 5 days ago. Now we have the stuff from 2 hours ago. Okay, so I was playing Final Fantasy IV: The After Years again, and this was Edge's tale. He's gonna go off on a journey, but they convince him to send them, so he stays behind for a while they go take care of various missions. Um, and they use his art of mimicry a lot. So one of them makes himself look like a dwarf. Another one makes themselves look like a mage, and so on. Anyway, actually, it's pretty complicated. It's actually really cleverly done. Like, this whole Edge's Tale is really, really, really good, I would say. It's unfortunate because I think this was one of the days where um, my my Twitch account was like disconnecting me for some reason. I'm not sure if that might mean I need to adjust my broadcaster settings to not stream to whatever server was disconnecting me, but I'm not sure how I would even know which server I was streaming on. I wonder if there's a way to find out. Because I know it's probably set to automatic right now, but maybe it isn't. I'll have to double check. I'm not gonna worry about it right now, but I do need to think about that. Anyway, so that was part one. Let's take a look at part two. So this was in the middle of her quest, and there was definitely some glitchy stuff going on. We were like dropping frames and stuff, but anyway, so Poland would like turn around and discovered Tsukinoa, or at least that was what she was worried about. Earlier on, there was an interesting. Yeah, so the reason that was happening was because my controller was freaking out, which is kind of interesting. So I was having a lot of technical difficulties that day. Anyway, let's move on to the next highlight. So this is part three, and yeah, as you can see, we got some weird glitchy stuff going on with the server, I guess. Anyway, I say, like, the battle progression, you have to restart with each character. It was really unusual, but it didn't feel terrible, to be honest, because a lot of these, I guess it's because we weren't sharing experience and we were gaining a lot more. Plus, we were able to carry over some of our progression because we were able to buy equipment, save our money for the next quest within Edge's Tale. So that was pretty cool. I guess our characters like sent each other money or something, which is pretty wild to think about. Anyway, it lets you select also which characters you would play next. I'm not sure how important that is outside of like it being somewhat influenced by the moon phase like changes, but like in some of the quests at the very least, you could like just stay in like one area fighting enough monsters to make the moon phase change, right? Because like anytime you're near a save point, you're just gonna fight chump monsters anyways. So it has no way of like getting you stuck in a situation that you don't like that's too powerful for you to deal with or whatever. So it seemed like it was a really good design, to be honest. And then in some areas, you could actually just go to an inn to change the moon phase if you wanted with some of the missions. So that was interesting as well. Anyway, but yeah, I didn't end up utilizing that stuff much. And then they eventually group up, and then there's this big scene, and then we meet up with some other main characters. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's a really epic ending to Edge's Tale. If you want to go check it out. Okay, so next up we've got level head highlight. This was me playing one of the tower trials. So I spent like around 5 minutes or so getting. No, this is part 2 actually, right? So this was another time where I guess I was getting disconnected from Twitch server or something like that, and so it shows my finishing time of 12 minutes and 7 seconds. The tower trial. And then so part 1 would be over here, which has us there's a lot of hazards moving around, so it feels like a bound map from StarCraft Brood War, like custom maps. So that was a pretty fun level, obviously. Amazingly enough, it was the first level of the tower trial. I don't think a level would be like the first level of the tower trial nowadays. But back then, it was, they didn't have the same methodology for putting levels into the tower trial, apparently. Anyway, personally, I think I preferred the 6th level tower trials over what we have nowadays, but they're all pretty good tower trials, generally speaking, other than like the ones that seem like they have impossible levels in them or something. Anyway, this one I actually had help on. Thankfully, Cammy Moop helped me with this one. I didn't understand it. Honestly, if I wasn't like dumb, I feel like I probably would have figured it out. But I guess I wasn't really feeling that great that day. Not feeling very intelligent. Anyway, in our next highlight, let's take a look at it. Another Final Fantasy IV highlight. This is me starting the Girl's Tale. So there's not much here. There's only 18 minutes because it's literally just the story, and then I save my game, and then we exit. It was pretty cool though because she takes it's basically a flashback story kinda. It's in between the original Final Fantasy IV and this Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. So it's like right after the events of the first Final Fantasy IV, I guess, basically. And it was really neat that we get to play through this. I am reminded of when I was playing Final Fantasy 13 Part 2. I was frustrated because they didn't have us like go back in time like before their first Final Fantasy 13. And considering the nature of the Final Fantasy 13 Part 2, I think it would have been really cool if they'd done that for us. Let us go back in such times, but they wouldn't let us. And so far, like, I think the fact that this, even though there's no time traveling in this game, the fact that it takes us back on this tale of poems, I think is really neat. I think it's really cool they did this. And I'd like to see more expansive stories moving forward in Final Fantasy games, if possible. And so far, this After Years game is feeling pretty expansive, so that's nice. Anyway, so then this was less than a minute highlight because it was just me playing Spikinator's level, and I was playing it quite a bit, and this was just like at the end of me like trying to get the ribbon basically. I didn't want to dare try to get the shoe, but I figured I could probably get the ribbon. I actually messed up quite a bit in this run, so I'm sure I could optimize the ribbon if I wanted. Like, getting 84,000 is definitely possible. But yeah, I figured just that score is good enough. Anyway, Spikinator is a guy that hangs out in Nikki Brady's channel quite a bit. So and he also told me about Levelhead at one point or another. Not sure if he was the first person to do so or if he was the second, but either way, I really appreciate learning about the game. Then we have a first clear, I think this was. Yeah, probably. Well, it was a coin hunting level. And yeah, I beat the clear check time. I think the clear check time was between 4 and 5 minutes. And so what happened was he set it up so there's like, I'm not sure how many coins there are in the level. There might be like 200 or 300 or something. And like there's various like challenges that you have to do to get various sets of coins. And if you do like the harder ones, it's like you can go through the level faster, and that's basically why I was able to beat his clear check time, essentially, which is really cool. So I really enjoyed this level, so I recommend you guys check it out if you're curious about it. This is the code right here on the death tracker. All right, next highlight. So yeah, if that bottom gauntlet looks too tough for you, you can try some other stuff and get a slower time perhaps. Then there was this level, I'm not sure why. It's because it's towards the end. This was another first clear, I believe, so I was just cutting off the beginning, especially because this could have been during a stream that we had a crash, perhaps, with the server of Twitch. Anyway, this level was a little bit confusing because I didn't find the hat and the fire flower on my first playthrough of it because I was ignoring the words. There was like in between some words maybe there was a couple of brown blocks, and they were the only brown blocks in the levels. Apparently we were meant to like check those brown blocks for power-ups, and there was also these here, which I also did not notice for some reason. So you'd think at least I would notice the power-ups coming out of the pipe, but I didn't notice those either, which is mind-blowing. Because I was like standing on the pipes, I was just blocking them from spitting anything out. But anyway. Kind of funny how stuff like that happens sometimes. It wasn't really a hard level, but it was easy to not notice what we were supposed to notice. So now we have a highlight of December 22nd. I was working in a contest sample course. So I'm doing a contest in Mario Maker 2, trying to get multiple streamers to host the contest. And pretty much, instead of making a red coin collecting level, I'm making an extermination level. And then instead of tricking the player into traps, we're giving them the option to spring traps themselves. And then the trap's going to be on zone 2. And then zone 1 is going to be the nighttime zone, night ground, where the targets are, we'll call them, which are probably going to be wigglers, because I've never made a defeat the wigglers level before. Anyway, I just spent most of the time just kind of sort of making the level look nice rather than making it functionally good. It's like, I don't know, I'm not sure if there's really a point to trying to make it functionally good since we're just going to be chasing around wigglers and stuff. Like, it's not going to be all that interesting, I would think. Anyway, but yeah, you jump at them and try to hit them with your tail. I did make at least one spot that it'll be pretty easy for people to run around and catch some P-speed to fly around with. So I definitely made sure we made some space for that and stuff. Anyway, Also, the plan is going to be the player is only going to get one raccoon suit too, so I don't want to go overboard with the difficulty on Zone 1 for sure. Anyway, I was tempted to put some other raccoon suits in the level, but if I do use any more raccoon suits in the level, they're going to be in note blocks rather than mystery blocks. So we'll see what happens with that. Eventually I might decide to put more in, but for now there aren't. It's just the one, the arrow pointing at it. And since it's nighttime, what happens is the leaf floats up, so that's why it's below us instead of above us. Alright, so, and then we have a highlight of me playing some ranked League of Legends. And this was, I ended up playing a practice game and a TFT game first, and then I played this game. And I had a Ziggs lane partner, which worked out okay, I suppose. He wasn't a very good Ziggs player, but I guess he didn't really need to be. The enemy Bard was actually pretty good, I guess. At least he was pretty good at landing his ultimates, but I was able to deal with them with my own ultimate and stuff like that. The enemy Zac was pretty problematic. After the first time he killed me, I don't think he really got any good kills on me, maybe, but he definitely still made problems for us and got quite a few good kills on Ziggs. Anyway, but yeah, our Twitch was doing pretty good, and then our Kale helped carry us really well. Kale wasn't definitely not being a coward. She was really fighting the enemy the way she's supposed to, which was great. Anyway, really, really, really a nice match, to be honest. It was difficult, but it was doable. I was getting Malzahar would flash on me and use his ultimate, which was somewhat frustrating, but it worked out. Anyway, let's look at the next highlight. This level was really nice. This Black Flies maker has some pretty tough levels. They're not always fair, but that's okay. Endless Challenge is garbage anyways. So this level was an auto-scrolling water level, and there's going right first, and then you go down later. Both areas were pretty fun. There was another level that was too hard for me to get through, I think, from this person. And then there was another one later, I'm not sure if it was on a different day or not, that was like a red coin challenge level, and that was really awesome. I really liked that one a lot, so we highlighted both of them. Anyway, the ending is considerably easier because if you wait long enough, then you can just land on this ice block, I think, and then you'll be fine. But I either rushed it there or I hadn't identified the safe spot yet. Either way, or maybe I was too slow in getting to it, or I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, that was a viewer level, and I managed to beat it. And it was less than 15 minutes, so it definitely was a pretty hard level, but it was pretty doable, especially once you get to the checkpoint. Then we have another level which was pretty short, really. It's only not even a couple minutes long. I actually died on this level, but sometimes the death tracker doesn't know when I die or not, especially on 3D World apparently. Sometimes when you go through a door it thinks you die. Not sure why it sometimes thinks that, but anyway. But this one I can't confirm I remember dying on this one. It was surprisingly short and easy, to be honest, for being a level that hadn't been cleared yet, because there wasn't really much going on in it. Then we have this level, which was kind of interesting. I think people just don't want to fight Meowser. There's actually blue POWs in this level, and I kind of got the impression that some of the battles started getting easier than the first one. I'm not too crazy. Anyway, but yeah, you have to fight the Meowsers, and there's like some pipe standing on semi-salt. It's just kind of strange and stuff. But as you can see, I beat it without dying even once, so it was a pretty easy level. Then we have another easy level that hadn't been cleared yet, so these a lot of these are first clears. I'm picking up. So this level, Airship Pirates. I think I died on this one. I'm not sure why. Doesn't really matter that much. Oh yeah, this survival room was a little bit confusing. You need to spawn that bomb to progress. Took me a little bit to figure that out. And then we were done. We're actually so far away from being finished. Oh my goodness. Okay, so next highlight we have basically me building in Levelhead. I was working on, it was originally going to be a 4 gauntlet with Fireball level. And as you can see, I started working on it while it was called 2 gauntlets Fireball. And eventually I gave up on the second gauntlet. I was like, you know what? It's just not fun. It's like, it's hard, it's whatever, or it's boring or something. Eventually I just removed the gauntlet. And ended up just shipping it with just the 1 gauntlet. And this is the run. If you guys are curious. Oh, well, I messed up there. Well, there's a clear in there somewhere, believe me. If you can go check it out, you know where the highlight is. Alright, where were we? Here's another one from Black Flies. This is a part 1, so I guess I lost my connection to the Twitch server partway through. Anyways, there were a bunch of these challenges. I'm not sure how long my stream was down, to be honest. It might have been down for quite a while. So I felt like, in the case of this level, I felt like we were missing quite a lot. Anyway, so yeah, I started taking a shower, and so, like, I'm not sure. Okay. And I started playing again. Okay, no, maybe there wasn't as much as I thought there was. I don't know. You guys will have to, like, tell me. Actually, no, maybe we can figure it out, kind of. So we can look at this death tracker. It's like 50. Okay, 50-34. Well, now where's the other one? Okay, so we lost less than a minute. But yeah, so it didn't start up immediately. So that's unfortunate. So yeah, we lost around 40 or 50 seconds or something like that of the playthrough. So it could have been worse. Definitely not ideal. Like, I don't know what's causing that, but that sucks. Anyway, at least now we have an example thanks to the death tracker keeping time. Anyway, where were we? Anyway, that level was really good. If you like red coin collection levels, with like as many checkpoints as you need, definitely consider checking that one out. I've made quite a few of them myself, and Blackflies made at least one themselves. Okay, so we have 6-1. This level, I think was a little bit on the hard side for sure, but it was pretty doable. I have to admit, I got a little confused, and actually, chat even helped me a little bit here, which I probably would have figured it out eventually myself, but it took me a little while. And I'm glad someone sped up the process of me getting through it. Basically, they're okay. No, here's the thing. I was just remembering something. I think these red coins are actually optional, if I'm not too much mistaken. Like, you don't need them. So after I beat the level, I was gonna speedrun the level by not picking up the red coins, if I recall correctly. Then I was like, nah, never mind. I don't wanna. Anyway, but yeah, I might speedrun it on another day because it was a pretty fun level. Yeah, all you have to do is defeat the ants. The red coins are optional. In fact, I don't think I didn't even go in the red in the locked door, so I'm not sure what's in there. It's right there though, for the record. And so I felt kind of silly because I not only did I not go into the door, but I also didn't speed run it either. So I was put in a really funky situation where I spent like 15 minutes playing the level, and I hadn't done either of those things yet. But hey, at least I beat the level. Yeah, and we got that first clear, baby. Alright, anyway, next highlight. This one was a viewer level. This one was SMB3 level. It was one of the better, like, auto-scrolling SMB levels, which is why I highlighted it. Usually, it's kind of hard to find a pretty good quality auto-scroller. I wouldn't call this one amazing, but it was still satisfying to play and beat it. It's basically just a speed run that doesn't have a death clock attached to it, so you don't have to hear the hurry up, you're running out of time every single life, which is nice. But it's still basically a speed run because of the auto scrolling. So I like that. Not enough people just do an auto scroll speed run. Anyway, next highlight we've got sort of like a boss fight level from Beneficial Excellence. I guess I might have mis-highlighted it, sort of. Anyways, I guess there's a little bit of me cheesing this level or something, or whatever it was I was doing. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to do that, apparently. Someone said you could cheese it inside, then I went back and tried. What's going on with my ear? Did I pull out some earwax? Oh, I did. I probably shouldn't have done that. It's just so itchy, though! Anyways, so there's this level where you flip the switches and there's signs telling you which monsters will spawn. So it was really cool. And apparently, if you defeat enough enemies, I guess, I'm not sure how many, you can go to the shop. So that's interesting. Anyway, eventually I beat this level. And then he told me about the shop. And I was like, oh, so I can use a T-bot. And so I started messing around with fighting with the T-bot. I didn't beat it a second time, though. But that's mostly because I was just goofing off and stuff. Anyways, it was pretty fun. Yeah, I might play that. I think I'll play that level again sometime. I feel like there's pretty good replay value. Anyways, I need to slap a favorite indicator on it to remind myself to play it again. And we have a time trophy in level head for June 16th of 2019. This is me playing this level. I actually played it the non-cheese way for the time trophy, so my time trophy is definitely beatable by my own self. I think it's kind of cool that he waited for me to beat it the normal way before telling me that it's cheesable. It's possible he might have told me like partway through the run, but if so, I was too busy to notice. Anyway, this level was the terrifying level, I think, out of all of them. It would be the hardest one to be consistent on. Anyway, so yeah, 13 minutes, not that great, but it still managed to be 6th place, which is interesting. I think this was what might have been one of the tower trials that didn't have very many people clearing in any case. Then we have this level, which mostly just looks nice and is kind of a fun little climb. This one was from Bean Boy. So it was a Mario Maker 2 level, and it had snow for nighttime and snow for daytime. Day and night, I mean. Anyway, they did a pretty good job of making the level look good all around, and it didn't take very long to beat. Not much else to say about it. It was pretty fair. Alright, we're on the last 7 highlights of this video. So we've got How to Become a Super Saiyan by Black Flies again. This was... Okay, no, we already saw this, right? I already showed this off because it was part 2. So, okay, well, there's 6 more then. Reach the Goal as Cat Mario by Ukon no Chikara. So that's actually not the name of the level. I just decided to call it that. It's actually in Japanese, but I wasn't sure. I didn't feel like translating it, and I don't actually still use a Japanese dictionary anymore. So this level was actually surprisingly hard, but it was fun, and I was ready for it. And also, although I took damage there, I was able to backtrack and go get the power up. Also, at the very end, this death tracker lies and says that I die, which is totally messed up because I don't. See, look at that. Is it because I dropped frames? It might have been because I dropped frames. No, the death tracker doesn't care if I drop frames, right? I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, it thinks I died. And you guys can see that I didn't. Anyway, next up we got Wild Child by Fun and Run. So this was an Super Mario Maker 2 level again. This one has desert on the outside and then castle on the inside. And then there's this big, crazy boss fight where you actually have to defeat the 3 chain chomps before you can actually defeat the Goopaling. So he actually used a sort of a glitch to prevent the launcher from going off screen. Actually, what's happening is the P-switch refuses to come through the pipe until you defeat all 3 chain chomps. And then you can step on the P-switch, and then this thing will collapse. And then you can actually defeat this guy. But it was actually really hard. So this level took me over 20 minutes, which, considering like around 16 of those minutes were like just fighting this boss, yeah, it was a long boss fight because I kept failing. So anyway, to be honest, I didn't mind so much the boss fight being difficult because we don't get enough difficult boss fights in Mario Maker as it is. Then we have this. This was the end of the stream. This one I struggled a little bit, but once I came up with the idea of like you can spin jump on the thwomps if you spin off of the wall, then I was able to use that strat to get the clear, as you can see here. Anyway, really neat level. It's basically an auto scroller with the trampolines or whatever. Anyway, okay, these other highlights. This is part 1 and part 2 of the same level. So let's just take a look at part 1 first. So this was a Zelda level basically, and this was a pretty hard one. This guy doesn't make easy Zelda levels. He does give you lots of power-ups though, but then he just makes actually progressing difficult. Pretty much the way to think of it is it's trying to be like a Zelda game, so it would be weird if like you weren't Link at any given points. That's why you make sure you have plenty of Master Swords. This part was confusing me. I'm not sure if I ever solved this room. I think I might have bypassed it, or... Oh no, I remember what I did. Actually, if you jump on the big muncher, then you can jump on the blue platform, and the blue platform will land on that track down there, and it'll raise up the P-switch. So that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, because the blue platform is apparently attached to the track, so if you step on it, it'll fall off of the track and land on another one. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I've ever seen anybody use that in a level, but oh wow, it looks like it was dropping some frames there. Anyways, what was I trying to say? But yeah, I think what annoyed me the most was the fact that he expected us to jump on the muncher before jumping on the blue platform. And so that's why it took me a long time to try to do that, actually. Look at that, I'm even just dying here, because, like, I was running out of time. Anyways, one of the things I was trying to do was I was trying to lift a POW onto the donut blocks, and which doesn't really make that much sense because you can't really load the donut blocks, but I was trying to do that kind of idea anyways, maybe. Actually, could have theoretically worked, but I landed right in between them. But anyway, yeah, so this room right here wasn't all that hard, but it was the next one that was confusing me. I think it's mainly because I just didn't realize you were just intended to damage boost on the muncher. But yeah, that was the part that I got stuck on the longest. And then eventually, after that, it's just... There's still some more... Yeah, see, this was what I was trying to do. I was waiting for the P-switch to end, because otherwise, these P-blocks would be in my way. And I was getting really frustrated. I'm glad you didn't spoil for me what I was supposed to do, though. But anyway, it was tough. I guess that's part of the experience of playing a Zelda game. Is doing the stuff that makes no sense. Like, theoretically, maybe it would have worked, but I don't know, maybe not. Anyway, cause, like, I guess you could, like, stand on one donut block and then quickly go stand on the other one before it reappears. I'm not sure if that would work or not. I would have to test it out, maybe, and see. But that was kind of the plan I was going for. Looks like we're dropping some more frames. Anyways, let's go take a look at part 2. Then there was this part with the vine, and I was stumped again. This time he had mercy on me and suggested I use the sword dash technique. And this was something I hadn't realized. If you're sword dashing, you can actually jump really high. Like, I think, isn't it higher than if you're doing a regular run? I'm pretty sure it is. Because, like, I'm pretty sure I can run from there. Anyway, either way, like, the sword dash allowed me to grab the vine. I feel like it actually jumped pretty high doing it. Yeah, I was losing my mind trying to figure that out. And then there's this room, which reminded me of one of his old levels where you have to shoot the arrow and then run just as you're shooting it. and just trust that your aim was good, because these munchers are going to block us. So this is more of a aiming when it comes to timing than anything else. And then, oh my goodness, more glitching happening. Anyways, alright, last highlight. Snow Place Like Home. This is from Mix Squared. Actually, there's one more highlight after this, because it wasn't done being saved or whatever. So this was a parkour speedrun kind of deal. It was pretty exciting. You do a bunch of jumping, but you also do a bunch of running too. You don't see that very much, if at all, in Mario Maker 2, where they actually mix up the running and jumping in a parkour level. But I really liked it. It actually made it a lot more enjoyable, being able to do the running. There's some snowball stuff too, which made it feel like a pretty festive winter level, I guess. Anyway, jumping on the 4 Pokies was probably the hardest part of the whole level. But I managed to get past it eventually. And that's a clear. Okay, so there's going to be one more highlight. Hit the refresh button. So this was today, actually, and basically I was looking at some ideas. I was looking at a bunch of like power-ups for Mario and stuff. Trying to figure out what kind of Mario emote I'd want to do. So far I haven't really figured it out. But eventually I settled on the idea of just drawing Ripcord. Just draw the Ripcord doing his normal stuff. I So yeah, you can check that out, see the process of me drawing the various pictures and then moving the picture around for animation and such. I think it turned out pretty good. Anyway, it's a new tier 1 emote, so you guys can use it with channel points if you want. I don't know, it won't show up on screen. Anyway, at the end of this highlight, it was still a little glitchy, but I was able to fix it very, very quickly after stream ended. Because what I did was I was using this online GIF maker, and basically after I made the GIF, all I had to do was optimize it to resize it. And then because what happened was when I tried to upload it to Twitch for the auto resize, it glitched out, just like it was glitching out when I used one of these programs. This one right here. See, look at that. It's glitching out, but the online GIF maker that I was using had an option to disallow this from happening. And apparently when you do the Twitch animated emote resizing, this happens. So that was pretty messed up, as you can see. Anyway, so yeah, apparently the Twitch resizing is buggy. So they'll probably fix it sooner or later. But in the meantime, the program I was used prevented me from having a lot of extra work to do. Anyway, that's about it for this past week. I know that was a lot. This was an over hour-long video, but I say it was worth it going over this. Hopefully, I need to make some more like real videos moving forward too. Some more of the first clearing series would be a good idea, because there's so much we can throw in there. Anyway. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream again today or if I'm going to make more YouTube videos, but I might do one of those things. We'll see.